All right, I'm going to go over lesson 85. We're going to be talking about multiplying by 10, 100, and 1000. So I'm going to first use the same number over and over, 123, and we're just going to go through and show how to do it times 10, times 100, times 1000. So first, I like to rewrite it to look like this. Remember the trick where I have you cover up the 0? So then it looks just like 123 times 1. And pretend it's not over here. I like to hide it in the back, just like this. And then I always draw an arrow to bring down that 0, because it's just hidden in the back. Then you can solve 123 times 1, 1 times 3, 1 times 2, and 1 times 1. So my answer is 1,230. So what I noticed is that since there was 1 0 in my answer, there's only going to be 1 0. So if I take 123 times 100 and rewrite it vertically, I'm going to hide those 2 zeros in the back. I'm going to drop those 2 zeros down. And it's the same process again. 123 times 1. And now my answer is 12,300. So if you see the pattern earlier, there was 1 0 and 1 0 here. In this problem, there were 2 zeros, so in the answer, there's going to be 2 zeros. All right, now let's look at 1,000, taking 123 times that. Rewrite it vertically. I hide those zeros in the back, so it looks just like 123 times 1. I'm going to drop down those zeros. So now in this problem, this answer is going to end in 3 zeros. 123 times 1 is 123. Count 3 numbers back. That's where my comma goes. So the answer to 123 times 1,000 is 123,000. All right, now it gets a little bit trickier when you have decimals in here, so I'm going to show you 2 ways to think about it. So if I take $1.23 times 100, I'm going to still set it up how I was doing it, where I hide these 2 zeros in the back. Okay, I'm still going to drop them down. And I'm still going to solve this the way I did in the previous one. So I'm just going to take $1.23 times 1. So $1.23. Okay. But since I multiplied times 100, I'm going to move it 2 places to the right since I had 2 zeros here. So I'm going to take this decimal place and I'm going to draw an arrow once and twice. Okay, and that's where my decimal should be. So I rewrite my answer as $123.00. Okay. Now there's another way to think about this too. Okay. If I pretend that, I'm just going to rewrite it actually. So $1.23. Oops. That should be a 2 here. $1.23 times 100. Okay. Drop those zeros down. Okay. And I'm just going to take 123 times 1, which is 123. Anything times 1 is the other number. And then since we're working with money, we know that the decimal place is only going to be 2 from the last digit. So I can think, okay, go back 1, 2 places. Since cents are always going to just have 2 place values there. And you'll get the same answer here. So I'm going to go over a couple examples now. So Letter A has us do 37 times 10. I like to rewrite it vertically. 37 times 10, hide the 0 in the back, drop the 0 down, and then you just take 37 times 1. Your answer is 370. Remember the pattern here. If you had 1 0 up here in your answer, you're just going to have 1 0 too. Now letter B is dealing with money, so I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it again. I'm going to set it up vertically. $6.12 times 100. I'm going to hide the zeros in the back. Drop them down. Okay. Now $6.12 times 1 is just going to be $6.12. But I had 2 zeros over here, so I'm going to move my decimal point to the right to 1, 2. So my decimal point should be here now instead of right here. So if I rewrite my answer, it should be 612, decimal point after the 2, and $sign for my label. $612. Okay, the other way to think about it, remember, was taking this. I'm going to rewrite it again. Drop those zeros down. And if we pretend that this decimal point isn't there right now, we're going to take 612 times 1, which is just 612. And then since we're dealing with money, your change or your coins are only going to be 2 place values, okay? So start from the end and go 2 back. So right about here, $612. You're going to end up with the same answer. Okay? And then one more problem over here. 45 cents times 1,000. Well, 45 cents looks like this. Hide the zeros in the back. I'm going to drop all 3 zeros down. Okay. And then I'm taking 45 cents times 1, which is 45 cents. I had 1, 2, 3 zeros, so I'm going to move my decimal point 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. This is where my decimal point should be now. So if I rewrite my answer, it should be $450. Okay. And the other way to do it, remember, setting it up again, take 45 cents times 1,000. I'm going to drop those zeros down. Okay. And I'm just going to take 45 times 1, which is 45. I'm dealing with money, so I'm going to count just 2 back from the last digit. 1, 2. Okay, we still end up with $450.